Hello, friends. It's been so much fun traveling through these 12 days of Christmas with you, making our story ornaments. We started with the city of Bethlehem, where Joseph and Mary were traveling when Jesus was born. We then made Mary and Joseph. Oh, Joseph got turned to the side. Let me fix him a little bit. We made the stable where Jesus was born. We made baby Jesus. And then we made the manger that he laid in because remember, they didn't have a pack and play for him to sleep in. He slept in a clean feeding trough for animals. Now we're going to make the next part of the story. We've gone 6 days. We're now ready for the seventh day, and we're going to draw a shepherd. Remember that we are drawing these all through the 12 days of Christmas. We started on Christmas Day, and we're going all the way to Epiphany, which is on January 6th, and we celebrate the wise ones reaching Jesus. Ready to draw the shepherds? They had an important part in the story of Jesus. Let's do that. I'm going to move these guys off to the side. Floop, floop. I'm going to grab my new tree cookie. We've been using tree cookies. These are pieces of branches that my husband cut for me. If you don't have those, you can get them at a craft store, or you could take a quick walk around the neighborhood and you could use rocks and draw on them, or you could use paper. There's no wrong way to do this. I have paint pens and I have Sharpie markers and I have regular markers. You use what works for you. Remember, I am not an artist. I like to use a pencil to start out because I always wind up making mistakes and I like to be able to fix them. I've had a lot of fun making these with all ages and stages. I have 7 kids in my house and we do this. They're between the ages of 2 and 19. They all enjoy this activity. And my older sister lives with us. She has Down syndrome. She loves this sort of activity too. These are fun to take out year after year and use to tell the story of Jesus. So let's get busy drawing the shepherds. Now, the shepherds were in the fields around where Jesus was born, out in the farmland around Bethlehem. And they had angels come to them and they knew that something amazing had happened. And the angel said, "Don't worry, we bring you great news." And the shepherds are the ones that heard this first. It was an amazing thing to hear. Do you know that shepherds were not well thought of? And they got the news first. You would think that people that the society considers important would hear it first, wouldn't you? But God's plan is always different. I love that. God includes everyone, and God remembers those that others don't remember, and God remembers them first. So God sent the angels to tell the shepherds about the good news of Jesus's birth. So let's draw a shepherd. Now, shepherds spent a lot of time in the fields. They wore simple garments so that they could move after their sheep easily. They wore warm clothing if it was cold. They wore lighter clothing if it was cold. They often, and they oftentimes wore cloaks to help keep them covered up. So I'm going to start it out this way with like a triangle shape for a cloak. Kind of like this. Can you see that? You'll see it better when I have my Sharpies out. And I'm going to put a head on top. And then I remember also that the shepherd had a crook. It was shaped kind of like a candy cane. It's long. And they used it to keep track of the sheep and to help them go where they need to go. So I think I'm going to go for a blue cloak on my shepherd. Like this. We'll outline that in blue so you can see where I'm starting. Shloop. And I'll do a little bit of shading on that. It's harder to color on a tree cookie because of the ridges from the rings, but if you go diagonally, it generally goes better. So there's the cloak. I started it there. Fill in a little bit. And then I think I'm going to go off to the head next. And I'm going to work with hair. I'm going to go for darker hair. And I think I'm going to go for some curly-ish hair because I imagine out in the fields, you didn't have a lot of time to comb your hair, wash your hair, so the curls would come out more. And I'm going to give this one a bit of a beard, a little bit of a beard. And I think this shepherd needs eyes. Oh wait, while I have my brown Sharpie out, I'm going to get the crook, the shepherd's crook. That was a very important tool for shepherds. Now, I believe this shepherd needs a smile and some eyes. Now, the rest of the people I've drawn have had brown eyes, so maybe I'll go for blue eyes this time to go with the blue cloak. I wasn't there. I didn't meet the shepherds, but I assumed there were blue eyes and brown eyes and green eyes. There we go. And there's our first shepherd that we drew. Remember, the shepherds heard the good news of Jesus's birth first, and that's why we're adding them to our story ornaments. So join us next time when we make the next ornament. I'll give you a hint. These came to the shepherds to tell about Jesus's birth. That's what we're going to make next. Take your guess, and when I see you in the next video, let's see if your guess is right. Bye, friends.